Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? I have a deck profile today, which is not, it is not something I've done before, this sounds weird to say. Normally when I make a deck profile on this channel, it's because I have used the deck a lot, I've tested it, I like it, I know that how it works, I've taken it to locals, I've done different stuff with it. This ain't what I'm doing with this deck. I'm doing a profile on this deck very early on in my making of it. I've had all the cards for this deck. I had the Crystron core a while ago. I've had all those cards. I've had that deck for a while. All those cards sorted. I got the K9 cards as soon as they were available, and I just was like, well, I guess I'll put these together, you know? It's a really fun deck. I'm testing it a lot. I've played it against a couple of friends a few times. I think it's a really fun deck. It's also, and this might be, oh, that was weird, might be a little bit cheeky to say, maybe, and obviously it depends on each individual person, but it feels almost like a budget deck. The most expensive cards in this deck are absolutely the K9 Izunas, K9 17 Izuna. Those are still quite expensive cards. Other than that, you can build this deck fairly cheaply. And if you can get a hold of those cards, I will say as well, to be fair, and this might sound absurd, you can kind of play without those. I wouldn't, but you can, your basic full combo is like, does it really need those? It does need those, but it doesn't really, you know what I mean? It's not that bad. It's just a really strong deck. It utilizes the strong rank 5 Xyz cards and whatnot. It's just very good. I like it a lot. I'm really enjoying it. Just testing it out at the moment. I still very much enjoy Dracatal for the most part, and that's the deck I'm going to be taking to regionals tomorrow, actually, which I'm looking forward to going to. I'm looking forward to that all week, actually. I'm hype up for it. But yeah, really enjoying it at the moment. And again, it feels kind of budget. It doesn't feel horrendously expensive as a deck. I have seen a topping list of this that only use 2 Izunas, and again, that's like the money card in this deck. So otherwise, it's a really cheap deck. Or even just pure Crystron is still solid. At least, it's not a terrible deck in the slightest. It plays through a lot of disruption. And yeah, pure Crystron's ridiculously cheap as a deck. But yeah, I'm just going to go over the profile that I have. It's by no means complete. I don't have a side deck yet, and my extra deck is work in progress, and again, very much in the budget region. But it's just something I'm playing around with. But obviously we have one Crystron Tristeros, just an insane card. In the pure version of the deck, you could play this at 3 because top decking it feels wonderful. You only need it 1 here because it's more of a combo piece, or an end ball piece, but you put it, search it easily. But yeah, 1 Crystron Tristeros, fantastic. 1 Crystron Smyger. Again, it's really good. It's 1 card starter. It's full combo in pure Crystron, and it's if all you have is you top deck a Smyger, you can still play from there, and then we have 2 Sulfifnir and 3 Sulfador. This is by no means, there's nothing spicy happening here. This is your standard Crystron package in the K9 Crystron deck. It just works well, consistent, works fairly well, and then 1 Scrap Recycler, because that's your bridge between the two. If you get your rank 5 engine going before you get your Crystron engine going, get Scrap Recycler out, you're good to go. Then for the K9 cards, we have 3 copies of K9 Jokul. This card's nuts. Card's insane. You reveal another level 5 monster in your hand. Can also be another copy of itself. Not itself, but another copy of itself. So if you just have 2 Jokul, you can still play from there. To summon both. Adds a K9 monster from deck to hand, which is usually going to be your next one, which is your Lantern. And then, yeah, with that also extends your plays even further. It's just really, it's so good. It's such an insanely good card. That plus Sulfador, I'm sure you've seen it everywhere already, but that plus Sulfador is just full combo. Absolutely absurd. 3 Izuna. Again, this is not a cheap card. I'm going to put that out there. It is the most expensive card in the whole deck that you need 3 of. Everything else that is money-wise is super optional. Like extra deck, for example, you can play the Nationite package, which the optimal Nationite package uses the C Umbra Horror Masquerade thing, right? The Chaos number. Now, that card is also quite expensive because I think it's only had 1 printing so far. Now, that card's also quite expensive. However, you also don't need that. That's, it's a nice thing. It's the optimal, I guess, but is it needed? I don't necessarily think so. You can use a Nationite package without using that. You can just use Nationite for what it is, which is just, you're going to suck up the opponent's cards, Goblin Biker style. by just putting any 101 to 107 monsters in your extra deck that you can use on that. So you can use a budget version of that as well, and that's why I like this deck, is that it's just using the rank 5 engine. It's extremely modular in that way. But then, of course, one loop is as well. In all of my testing, this card has been glued to my hand, which is quite frustrating, but there you go, what can you do? And that's it for the monster engine, but then we have the non-engine. There's also quite a lot of room for non-engine in this deck. I mean, not only is Azuna sort of a hand trap in and of itself, but you can get a lot of room for non-engine as well. So I think I'm running, I think it's 17 non-engine if I'm not mistaken, which is a decent amount. You can run more if you cut down on other things. You can absolutely cut down on a couple of the one-offs and just run more non-engine, so it's not at all bad. So 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Ghost Spell. I like Ghost Spell a lot in this format. It's really fun. I think it's really good. It works really well. Ghost Spell and Ghost Ogre are my 2 favourites. Didn't quite find the room for the Ghost Ogre in this deck, but, you know. 3 for 1 loss. I think if you're going to run a Mulcharmy, this is the one you're going to have to run. It's I think, the one that hits the most things. It kind of hits everything at least a little bit. And yeah, it's just a very good card. And also, I believe, again, talking budget, I think it's the cheapest of the 3. Non-engine, weirdly, non-engine and staples I kind of don't include in the budget thing, because non-engine and staples, I kind of just assume you've got that, you know? If you don't, my bad, I guess you can pick up, you don't have to use more Charmies. You should be using more Charmies. You don't have to use more Charmies. There's other non-engine you can use. But, you know, non-engine and staples, I'm kind of assuming that everyone's kind of got that already, you know? And especially because Fawalas is definitely by far the cheapest one. It's not that bad at the moment. And then we have 3 Nibiru, because Nibiru is really good. And that's it for the monsters in this deck. Lots of monsters, as you can see, but that's, you know, given how many monsters are hand traps, that's fairly standard affair for nowadays, you know. And then, of course, we have the spells, 3 Crystron Inclusion, because you basically want to run 6 copies of Sulfador, because Sulfador plus Jokal is full combo, hence why you also run 3 Chaotic Elements, because that also gets you a Jokal. You're basically running 6 each of the cards you need in this deck to get everything, which also plays through an absolutely absurd amount of disruption. It's really good, guys. So I think this deck, it seems to be a bit bricky, in my opinion. And to be fair, I'm running a couple of one-offs that you might not necessarily need. It feels a little bit bricky. However, it really feels like it just has the highest ceiling of any deck in the format currently, off of just 2 cards. If you can get Jokal and Sulfador in hand, you can play through so many hand traps and so much disruption. It feels like it has such an incredibly high ceiling on this deck of like skill level, of the field that you can set up at the end of your turn. It feels very strong, to be honest. Then we have 1 Case for Canine, 1 Canine X-Force Release. Again, that's a one-of that you don't necessarily need. I know some people cut that from the deck. I like it. It's 2 disruptions in 1 card, basically, so I like it a lot. And 1 Foolish Burial, because that is a starter for the deck, because you pitch your Smiger, or what have you. Or anything you need in Graveyard, quite frankly. It doesn't need to be Smiger. But yeah, usually it's going to be Smiger. And then lastly, we have the Traps. Again, all very standard fare here. Just 1 Crystron Cluster. Very good card. Part of your combo, you just search it easily, either pitch it and add it back with Eleskeletus, or search it with Smiger, whatever the case might be, and then 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, because this is just a very good card in this format. Some people are running 3 of this and also 3 Effect Veiler. I can definitely see why you'd want to do that, quite frankly. I think that's really good. I don't think that's a bad move to do at all. It seems strong to me. And now for the extra deck. Again, this is mainly just an idea of what the extra deck could be. This extra deck is perfectly functional. It works well as is. The rank 5 engine is quite toolboxy. You can put in an Artifact Durandal. You can put in a Imperial Princess Quinquery. That one. There's a lot of fun rank 5s you can use, but this is just an idea of what a cheaper version and also just a usable, solid version of the extra deck can be. So 1 Little Knight, because of course Little Knight's just really good, and it's part of the full combo of this deck for the most part. 1 Clockwork Knight. I did pull from the was it preview event? What do you call it? We used to call them sneak peeks back in the day. I don't know what you call them now, but from the sneak peek event for Suda that I went to, I pulled this in QCR actually, and I traded it away for some Kashtira cards a while ago, and now that I'm more into this deck, I'm like, oh, I really wish I kept that actually. Man, oh well. One might come back up at some point, but I don't know. I really liked it. It was really fun. It's just nice to have it, a nice pull that I got at the sneak peek of it, you know. One Ripper, because Ripper's just very, very good card. Again, like if you're just running a minor K9 package, which is just going to be 3 Zuna, 1 Lupus, and a Ripper, you can put that in almost any deck, and it's going to be pretty strong, because this is just, you can say no to 2 of your opponent's hand traps. That's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. 1 Werewolf, because I'm running that small package. 1 Nova and 1 Infinity, because these are just really good. That's kind of, this is why you play the Crystron cards, because you can get this rank 5 into a rank 6 out very easily, very quickly. It's very strong. Just so good. 1 Nashonide, and I am running literally just 2 101 to 107 cards. That's it. I think that it could be the same one even. They don't need to be different. I don't know why I'm running 2 of these, to be honest. It could be the same one. Literally, they are just there so that you can use Nashonite to take an opponent's monster. That's it. I think it's non-targeting as well, which makes it even stronger. It feels very much like a... Well, actually, no, there's a reason it feels like that. It's Falama Dark Knight Lancer, which has a very similar effect of non-targeting, taking an opponent's monster and attaching it as material. And yeah, I think in terms of the story of the anime, they're used by the same character, are they not? So there you go, and that'll be why. But yeah, they're both really good. These are just here as fuel for Nashonite. That's it, basically. 1 Infinitrap River Stormer. This is the bridge. This is what gets you from one engine to the other. It's very, very good. 1 Chronomaly Vimana. It's an Omni-Negate. Is it a Omni-Negate or Monster Negate? I think just a Monster Negate. Monster Effect. Yeah, Monster Omni-Negate, but still. But yeah, really good card. Be careful when you're playing against people that they don't make this with these K9 66s, because if I'm not mistaken, neither of those can be used for the Xyz summon of a light monster, at least not if they've used their effects to summon that turn. So be mindful of that. I have had people do that against me at tournaments and whatnot. Never with any malice, I want to make that very clear. It's never done like, I'm going to cheat. It's always like, oh, my bad, I forgot. Easy mistake to make, but do keep an eye on that sort of thing. Also, another thing with this deck I want to point out as well, keep an eye on when you get machine locked, because there are a couple of effects in this deck that will machine lock you. When you are machine locked, obviously it locks you out of your other non-machine extra deck slots. That can be a bit painful at times, obviously. Be mindful of that. Read your opponent's cards, read your own cards, make sure you're aware of when that happens, because not only is it your job to know when that happens, it's your opponent's job as well to know when you are machine locked yourself. So just make sure that you know what's going on. Just, play fair, be safe with it, you know what I mean? 1 Valon. I find it insane that it's just a common. It's a great card. I didn't even pay much attention to this when it came out in Duad. I pulled a bunch of them because I got a couple of boxes, and I didn't pay much attention to it. Kept a playset. I always do that with my commons, keep a playset of them just to be safe. But yeah, what a great card. What a really good card this is. Just setting stuff and then destroying stuff. It's just really good. It's a great card. What a wonderful card this is. No wonder it was used in Rise for a while, just to send it off of X. It's Ball Breaker. It's such a good card. 1 Zeus. Again, is this budget? Debatable. You could use a Typhon, which is very much more budget at this point, but Xyz deck use this, 1 Dawn Dragster and 1 Eleskeletus for the synchros. I actually have been thinking about maybe including a couple of other rank 7s in this, level 7s in this deck, because although this is the bare minimum you need for your, I guess, combo throughout you playing, Crystron is initially a synchro deck, and the pure Crystron build uses a lot more synchro cards. It uses your what do you call it? What do you call it? Oh, what's that card called? Samurai Destroyer, Belt Dragon, I think it's called. Like, there's a bunch of level 7s that you can use in this deck, which there's some application for them. But these are the best two to use, obviously. No side deck, as I said, because I have this is just an idea for a deck more than anything. But yeah, that's it for the profile, guys. I know that might be a little bit of a short video, to be fair, but I'll talk about something else in a second as well. But yeah, no, I just find it to be a really fun deck. It's fun, it's combo-y, you get to, you play through a lot of disruption, you go lots of like back and forth doing this, doing that. It's really fun, I like it a lot. I am still very much into my Dracotal at the moment, and I know that deck better than I know this deck, so Dracotal is what I'm taking to the regional tomorrow. But yeah, it is just a really fun deck, and I actually might put down Dracotal for a bit to play this. It's enjoyable. I do like it, and again, I like the aspect that it is, for the most part, pretty cheap. It's not an expensive deck, and I like that. I'm a fan of, this might sound controversial, right? I do not like playing against Tenpai. However, I really like that Tenpai was a budget option. You know what I mean? I don't like playing against Tenpai. It's the most upsetting thing in the world when your field gets destroyed by the opponent and they normal summon Hydra. You just go, yeah, okay, cool, next. It's a very disheartening feeling. However, I don't think... I like what Tenpai was. It was a strong budget option, and budget options are always good for expanding the player base of this great game. You know, the more cheap options we have available to us as players, the more that we can encourage our friends to join in and like, hey, jump in, you can pick up 3 structure decks, it's like £30 to get into the game, it's really good. I love that. So this is why I like this deck. Is again, Izuna's the expensive card. If you can get a hold of those for like a decent value here and there, this is such a budget deck aside from Izuna. Izuna is truly the only expensive card in this deck. You can pick up this deck for like under £50 other than Izuna. And that's being generous on that, even including post and packaging and whatnot. It's a really cheap deck. And I like that a lot. I like cheap decks, a lot, budget decks. Even, this might sound dumb, the idea of a deck being budget makes me like it more. That's how, because I've always been a budget player historically as a kid. As a kid, when I used to play, I used to be a budget player because obviously I couldn't afford anything else. As I got on a bit older, I was still a budget player because I just was picking up whatever I could find. And there is something I still find very exciting about finding budget lists, you know? It's fun to find and it's nice to be able to go through this stuff and whatnot. But that's just me. I'm rambling a bit now. But something I do want to bring up is I want to say thank you to everyone who showed support to me commentating a couple of games at the London Open. That was an absolutely incredible experience. I will remember that for the rest of my life. Hopefully I'll be able to do something similar again. Hey, we never know. That was great. Thanks so much to Dale. Thanks so much to Alex. They were both so friendly and so helpful to me. Thanks to everyone working behind the scenes. They were great. They were friendly. They were so helpful, so kind. I was so nervous all day before I got there, and they were really everyone so helpful to me. Thank you to the wonderful people working at Konami who were being so kind to me as well and being very helpful to me and everything. What an insane experience. I have spoken about this a little bit on Jimothy YGO's channel in the TYS podcast. Is it TYS? I'm getting that wrong now. Goodness me. Bear with me while I pull that up because yeah, it is TYS. I was just thinking, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Ignore me. But yes, in the TYS podcast. Unfortunately, during that video, my microphone quality was awful. It was really bad. I don't know why that happened. I have a good microphone. This is a Shure SM7B. It's like industry standard. And for some reason, Discord don't like it. So unfortunately, my microphone quality is very bad, but I'll put a link to that video in the description because you guys want to go and watch it. I talk about things a bit more in depth. But yeah, just a big thank you to everyone who was at that stream and showed support. That was so kind. I looked at some of the comments afterwards. Thanks, guys. That was insane. Maybe one day I'll get to do that, something like that again. I'd really love to. That'd be great. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Kind of a short video today, which is good because I know I tend to ramble a lot in my videos, but there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, wish me luck in my regional tomorrow. And I hope you guys have luck in your tournament as well. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.